The talent just sits up here, right, Kenny?
But it was so funny. This young man is like, yes, I'm really trying to like get into some politics. I'm very interested. Yeah, well, Kirk, he gives me the fist bump. He shakes my hand.
Well, we're off to a bad start because I had Roger Harris' name underneath you, who's coming up next.
That's right.
So that shows you where this show's going. How come my microphone is off? Are you making some adjustments here that you brought me down or something? You did something. Okay. Am I back to normal? Okay. Let me turn. I know I got to turn the. I think it's down. We got good audio in here now because we got a new board thing in here.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. So anyway, Kirk
Can't
deVIERE.
hear Kenny though.
Oh, you can hear Kenny. That's good. Kenny, say hello.
Hello.
Can you hear him now? How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because just say something, Kenny. Because
I don't want to. I'm afraid.
Now I can hear him.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to get an echo in here. See, now there we got the echo here. So this new headphone thing is really good. And so, in any event, it's good to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Where are you taking me to lunch?
I think it's the other way around, my friend.
And now look, I read the press release that you guys, the county, put out, and it says that initially the county will be in charge.
No, that's incorrect.
Okay,
the governing board is who's in charge. So the compromise that the city and the county found is something called a joint agency that's authorized by state law. It allows us, both bodies, to create a joint board that's a governing board. So they make the decisions. They are the decision maker. And based on having what they call a joint agency, which is what we'll create, you have to have a local government unit that is the backbone. So somebody that, writes the check, that handles the contracting, that handles the payroll, the employees, those types of things. The administrating unit or the local government unit will be the county, but it doesn't execute anything. It executes what the governing board says. So the person that's in the group that's in control is the city and county in a group board. It could be we could outsource it to a private agency if we wanted to.
But you said the key word initially. The county will be in charge.
No, we're not in charge. Quit saying that. That is incorrect.
Okay, well then,
we administer what the governing board execute. We execute what the governing board decides. So, words have meaning.
I
Gilbert, as you know, as a reporter,
I do.
The county is not. The county is the administrating unit or the local government unit that handles the administration parts of it. The governing board.
You're making my point for me.
The governing board, the people that make the decision, Gilbert, who decide what's going to happen,
I understand
what
that.
technology, the county and the city are jointly in charge.
Okay, but the administrative portion...
It has nothing to do with it.
Well, that was my whole thing.
It has nothing... No, the question is always, for 20 years, Gilbert, the question has been around who runs it. Who runs it now is a joint agency, a joint board, a joint governance board. That's been the sticking point for 20 years.
Then why isn't the city the one administrating it? As the administrator of it.
Well, why not the county?
Well, that was my point.
But the administration doesn't have anything to do with it.
But the whole argument has been over the administration.
You're incorrect, Gilbert. You are wrong. The whole argument has been around the governance. Who controls it? There's no longer, in the models that we were talking about before, had the city manager or the county manager sitting at the top of the control of that.
Right.
Okay. Now there's a joint governance board that sits there.
But that board is not there yet. You have 60 days to put that together. I'm asking. That's a question. You have 60 days to...
Gilbert, you're killing me. The joint governance board is set up by the mechanism by which you set that up is an interlocal agreement. That's correct. What we agreed to is provide us 60 days to create that interlocal agreement. Just like we have interlocal agreements for Parks and Rec, just like the county and city have interlocal agreements with Fort Bragg for different services. It's a mechanism to create the form of governance. That's been the issue for 20 years, Gilbert, not about who's writing a check or who the employees are. The issue has been who's in control, who's managing the standards, who's managing the procedures, who's controlling the governance of it. That's been the issue. That's been the sticking point for years.
Well, I'm just reading your press release that you guys put out that says that the county
Administratively. That's not control, Gilbert.
Well,
Gilbert,
but we have never been in
Gilbert,
argument,
yes, we
in
have
disagreement
been.
about.
Yes, we have.
We've
yes,
been.
Yes, we
but
have.
we've said that
for 20
ES
years we have argued that who is the governance of it. That's been the sticking point. Go back and look at 2007, 2017. Go back and look at any time that those two boards came together to talk about it.
Today, who is in charge?
The city has their own 911 department that is run by
the city.
By the city.
Right.
The county has a 911 that handles EMS, that handles our emergency services, or excuse me, animal services, and 911 for dispatching for entities. They run theirs. That's run under our emergency management.
Okay, we're going to pick this up because Kenny's giving me hand signs that we're getting behind a little bit.
That's right.
We'll pick it up here on the other side here. We've got local news right now, or we're going to do
we're going to just bump right to weather because we got to get back to this.
Okay, all right. It's 7:38. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
Today will start out cloudy but end sunny as we have gradually clearing skies with a high of 89. Tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 68, and Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 96. Temperatures will quickly climb to near triple digits by the end of the week, and then showers and thunderstorms arrive by Saturday and into early next week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, right now the temperature is still 72. It's been that way all morning. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oof, shocking time to lose a whole strut.
Ugh, comedy is not your thing, but I do know that Rock Auto has what I need to fix it.
With parts shipped right to your door. No kidding.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Wow! Whoa!
Looking for a place where your child's imagination comes alive? Watch their eyes light up at Fascinate You Children's Museum in downtown Fayetteville. Designed for kids from birth to 12, Fascinate You delivers hands-on fun in a safe, engaging environment. Discover the wonders of science and art with our exciting hands-on programs designed for educators, homeschoolers, and families. Aligned with North Carolina standards to complement your curriculum. From Toddler Tuesdays to quarterly sensory-friendly Sunday mornings, there's something for every child at Fascinate You Children's Museum. And when it comes time to celebrate, birthday parties at Fascinate You bring laughter, discovery, and unforgettable memories. Discover more online at fascinate-u.com. Fascinate You Children's Museum, where imagination knows no limits.
Fascinate You Children's Museum is one of your WFNC's Knowledge is Sweet Deals of the Week. Log on now to WFNC640am.com. Click on the Sweet Deals logo and snag a birthday party package for just $80. That's a $190 value. Fascinate You Children's Museum.
Marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Good morning, Fayetteville, with Gilbert Bays on WFNC News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2.
Attention, head to Lumberton Honda for the Freedom Celebration. Freedom to choose. With over 100 new Hondas in stock, we have what you're looking for. Freedom to drive. Get 1.99% APR on a 2026 Honda Ridgeline or 4.49% APR on a 2026 Honda CR-V Sport. Shop now during the Honda Summer Event at LumbertonHonda.com. With approved Tier 1 credit, not all will qualify. Does not include tags, title, taxes. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Expires 7/31/26.
Attention Lumberton! Attention Rainford! And you too, Fort Bragg!
Remember this, 295-95, exit 22. That's the brand new easy drive from Fayetteville straight to Lumberton Honda. And you're here in 20 minutes. If you're buying a Honda, there's no reason to go anywhere else. Lumberton Honda is the best place to shop. And now it's never been easier to get here. Say it again, 295-95, exit 22. Lumberton Honda, the only stop you need.
Always first in News Talk for North Carolina. News Talk 640 WFNC. Stream online at WFNC640am.com. Anytime, anywhere.
I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I done said the right thing, but it must have used the wrong line. I've been on the right
News Talk 640, to cut off the music, 9:10. We got 7:42, and Kirk and I have been talking back and forth here about trying to understand who is going to...
Talking the light word there, Gilbert.
Well, no. Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I'm not going to get heated or anything more than I have to
Me either,
about this. But we
matter.
both can drive our
matters.
points here. The point is that after 22 years, and you say 222 days, and that's another stickler here, I guess.
Yeah.
Finally, the city and the county,
the
city and the county has finally come to an agreement on the 911 center, and the whole, I guess, stickler on trying to decide how we're going to put this joint operation together. We're arguing two different things. You're saying I don't understand the difference between administration and governance, and I'm telling you, is the city running it, or is the county? Who is the administrator? And you're telling me that
the governance board,
right?
The governance is a joint agency.
Okay, but here's my point, and this has always been stickler for the city and the county in terms of what's going to happen to the personnel who work for the city in terms of the seniority and all that type of stuff.
And both of us have agreed to that. That's not even a point of discussion. We agreed to parity of employment. We agreed to personnel parity to make sure everybody's at the highest level. We've agreed to the highest standards. That has nothing to do with the governance and what we're talking about.
I'm talking about the administration.
The administration, all they do is execute. Let me finish, please. Let me finish.
I'll bring you up full screen.
Let me finish. All the administration does is execute what the governing board does. The governing board is a joint body. That's it. The local government administrating unit, all they do is they're the employerman of record, they're the fiscal agent, they're the contracting property. Someone has to do that for this joint agency. The governance, the authority lies in that governing board, and that's the joint agency.
Well,
that's it.
And I
Clear.
agree
The
with you
administrating board can't do anything. We can't go get a contract. We can't hire anybody. We can't do anything. The communications director that runs the 911 center, that, oh, by the way, we've agreed, we've said, hey, bring the person that runs the city one right now, and that's fine, and let them be the initial one. That person is hired or fired by the joint agency board, by the joint governance board. They make all the decisions. If the operational team says, hey, we need this new technology, new dispatching procedures or technology, they make the recommendation. The administrating unit, all they do is execute the contract. They're not a decision-making authority. The governance board is. The decisions lie with the governance board. Clear. End of story.
I have never, ever argued about the governance of this.
That's been the 20-year argument, Gilbert. That's been the 20-year argument.
The argument is going to be who's going to run it. Now, if you want to play the semantics
agency is going to run it.
Okay, and so we got to that point.
That's right.
And that's the reason
that's been the argument.
Well, but that's the reason that we don't. Hopefully, we got time here in the 60 days to really execute this and make this come to fruition.
The ILA is really clear. It's laid out what you need to lay out in the ILA, and then the governance board begins to shape everything else.
Well, we got 60 days to make sure that happens.
Yeah, we're going to start at the end of this month. This working group's going to come back together, and we're going to start working towards an ILA. An interlocal agreement is straightforward. It lays out the ground rules.
But there can be something that derails it.
There's always something that could
There you
derail
go.
it.
We
I mean,
thought
I
we
didn't
were
walk
out of
in.
the
I
war in
didn't
Iran.
walk in here this morning thinking you and I were going to have this big of a disagreement on who's going to buy lunch. But we are where we are.
Well, look, this is not about buying lunches. Making
I know,
sure
I was trying to make light of something, Gilbert.
But the thing is, if I'm a pretty smart guy. Now, maybe I'm not that smart a guy, and maybe I don't know that much about being in politics and governance and all that kind of stuff. All I know is, you said it. You know, words have meaning, and so the stickler and the example I was using with you while we were off the air is you got the city 911 folks and you have the county 911 folks.
There'll be a joint 911 folks.
Okay, and the question is the city folks who are working in 911 right now, who writes their paycheck? Does the city write them or does the county?
They work for the city. They're a city employee. That's why we're talking about moving to a joint model.
Okay, but who
just
writes,
like we did years ago with Parks and Recreation?
Who writes the checks?
Just like we did years ago with Parks and Recreation, which the city administers.
The city administers that. Okay, but who will administer the 911 joint agency?
I just said it earlier. The county.
Well, there you go.
But that's not the governance. They don't have any
control. I'm not
control.
talking about
yes,
governance.
we are.
No, you are.
No,
I'm not.
But my point is for 20 years or 22 years, what you want to say, the issue has been around governance.
And that's
Bring
because,
back anybody in here that has worked through this issue.
And I will agree with that. And the
we
difference.
Agree finally. All right.
You agreed because y'all listened to me on that Wednesday before you had it, and I said, why don't you have a joint meeting and have a joint folks? And next thing I know,
you need to run. You need to run for mayor
county
or county commissioner. Come on.
I can't run
Actually,
for
are you
mayor.
a Democrat? I'll just resign. You can take my seat.
Well,
How about that?
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, call in here.
I'll resign, and you can take my seat.
Well, what I have is an understanding that
I'm sure there'll be a lot of people happy about that.
Well, here's the thing. I will agree to disagree with you on this because you finally came together with the city and the county.
Can't we celebrate that? Can't we celebrate that you finally have a community moving forward and the county and the city are actually working together?
And I've been celebrating that with you and the mayor every time you guys come in here. I say every time that I have not seen in the course of the near 50 years that I've been here this much collaboration between the city government.
But we still got a lot more work to do.
Well, sure you do.
This is breaking the mold of over 20 years that you've talked about. We've got other things we've got to work through.
Well,
there's other things that we can collaborate on, whether it's things going on at the airport, in our planning and inspections departments, in transportation, we're doing it in economic development. We've been working together on economic development for years now. So
look, again, the stickler here for me is the semantics of this, and that's what we're arguing here. I'm not saying that you don't have a joint collaboration now between both EMS agencies to work for the governance of it. That's not what I'm saying.
The control lies with the governance board, and that's been the issue, where the control is. That's what everybody says.
But that was before everyone decided to come up with the joint board. It was either going to be the city or the county. It was.
There's been discussion.
That has always been the argument.
Are you sure about that? That maybe has been the argument, but the joint agency has been an option before.
Well, we finally got to it because...
it's been before this.
Well,
before we just recently got to it.
Well, I'm glad we got to it because that is probably the fairest thing to do. But the question still remains, not with the governance of it, it says who writes the checks?
No, it's not, because who controls it? The joint agency controls it. The administrator can do nothing.
Well, but before we got to the joint part, it was going to be one agency or the other.
That's right. And now we're joint.
Okay, and the
control lies in the joint board.
Okay, but the administration is still going to be the county.
The administration is by law.
Who writes the checks?
By law. Okay, help me understand this, Gilbert, if you want to go down this rabbit hole. So you form a joint agency, correct?
Right.
It's not an independent authority. So you form a so independent authority is different. You got to have a charter. You got to go through the General Assembly. You got to do all this stuff, like PwC, like TDA, like this. You have a joint agency, two entities that come together. You have to have somebody that administers that.
I understand that.
They're not in control. They're not in control.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying who administers.
Yeah, but the issue has always been control and governance.
But that was before we came to the agreement that we're going to have the collaboration between the two folks.
The issue that where the city and the county were separated on was they wanted single agency. They wanted either the county or the city to run it.
That's my point.
That's been the issue. That was the argument.
All right, and so you came to the point that you're going to do the collaboration.
We're going to do a joint agency,
and so they will do the governance of it.
That's right. They'll do the control of it and the governance.
But who writes the paychecks?
Again, Gilbert, you have to have somebody that does that.
Well,
but they don't have any authority.
Why can't you say the county writes the paychecks?
I've said that. I just said it a few minutes ago.
Okay, so to me, the county is the administrator of the...
That is correct. They're the administrating unit, but they're not in control.
I didn't say that you had to be in control. I said who was going to be...
Yes, you
I
have.
have not. I said who was going to be the administrator of this. That's been my argument the whole time.
Okay.
Man, well, I tell you
what's been the argument is who's in control. And you know, that's been the issue. The governance piece of this and who runs it. That's been the issue.
And that's right, because until now, until we've had this joint governance collaboration, it was going to either be the city or it's going to be the county. And so you guys took off the gloves.
Even though the joint was offered up before.
Well, that's fine, but it didn't come to fruition.
Could have.
So, but now it has, and I don't know why it didn't. And you know, hindsight's 20/20. Here's where we are. This is what we got, and it's going to happen. And I'm happy for both of you guys. And so you and I can go to McDonald's anytime you want.
It should be. I mean, it's good for the community. Again, when you dial 911, you want the best possible service. And
But
when
that
you
wasn't
have
gonna
a joint,
change.
but it's not going. It's going to be even better. What you're going to see is you're going to see a higher level of standards. You're going to see, you know, again, all the employees will be taken care of. That's a critical thing, whether the county said it or the city said it. We both said we want our employees, we want our workforce taken care of. We want to have the highest standards. We need clear lines of governance. We need clear lines of operational controls. We need all these things, and all that is built in.
All right,
So
and
in 60
I agree.
days, we'll walk through an ILA, an interlocal agreement, lay out the framework, appoint a governing board, and start moving forward.
All right. Well, and the county will administer what the governance board says.
They will execute what the governance
That's
board
right.
says.
And then my question always is, well, how come the city couldn't do that?
How come you couldn't do it?
Well, I'm not.
Well, we could contract it to you, and you could do the whole thing.
Well, then, but I'm saying.
I mean, by the ILA, we could do
that. The point that I was making the whole time is the city going to administer or the county?
No, you were saying who was going to control it.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
No. Well,
Okay.
The control was based on the fact that you weren't going to have a collaborating board like you have now.
Okay.
And so that has been my point. But now that you've come to this,
we're going to have an integrator come together. They're going to create the path by which we're going to come together. That'll be through the governance board, and we'll keep moving forward. Highest level of standards, highest level of service, all those things. Behavioral health integration, making sure we're collaborating with all the different components that handle behavioral mental health. All these pieces will be in there.
All right. Well, we had a great discussion on that. Now you got 1 minute to talk about something else. You're ready to go home.
Just happy to be here, Gilbert.
Yeah, I know. And I'm happy to have you here as well.
I at some point when I come on, we're going to stop talking about 911, maybe talk about, something else. But I knew this morning would be about 911.
Well, it's because we are going to agree to disagree on who won the bet. And it's really that was out of fun, really.
Yeah, but
all right, governance, both of you, administration, county. And am I incorrect in saying that?
You can say whatever you want, Gilbert.
Am I incorrect? I'm asking you as a journalist, am I incorrect in saying that there's a collaboration between the city and the county that will be the governance, but those decisions will be administered by the county?
No, the governance is established as a joint agency through an interlocal agreement.
That
right. Governing board has control of the joint call center. The administrative unit executes the decisions of the joint governance board.
And is that
it
the city or the county?
It doesn't govern the center.
I understand. Is that the city or the county?
It doesn't govern. It doesn't control. It doesn't make decisions. It executes.
I agree with you.
The county is that agent, that employer of record, that physical agent, that contracting party, that property holder, the backbone services, all those different things that are required to run that you need administratively for a joint agency to run a center.
Well, I'm glad that we've come to a collaboration between the city and the county, and you and I will agree to disagree on the semantics of who the administrator is or what that role is in terms of how important it is to the whole conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, yeah. We're good. We're good.
All right.
We'll agree to disagree.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Look forward to seeing you next
I
week.
look forward to, well, maybe I think I'll probably take next week off.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll see you when you decide you want to come back.
No, I'm just taking next week off because I need a little, family has to take a little vacation every now and then, so I'm going to be out of town. I don't want to announce that on the radio, but I guess I am now, so.
Well, I don't want to make it seem like you were mad at me and then you didn't want to come back anymore.
No,
but
I'm just taking a break next week.
Look, it's my job as a journalist to ask tough questions, and that's what I do, and I don't back down from it, and that's what I do.
And I don't back down from sitting in any room and taking any question anytime.
And
I don't think I've done.
No, you haven't.
Ever.
No, you haven't. So I always appreciate your candor. It's good to have you here. I want you to enjoy your vacation and think about me next week.
I'm going to be playing. I'd love to be playing golf, but I doubt I'll be playing golf. So
I'll play golf, man. I'm playing today. You want to play today?
Just going to relax.
Let's go after we finish. Look, I got my clubs in the car.
My day is full all the way this week because I'm trying to plan to have a little bit of break next week. It's important.
Well, look, it's always good to see you, my friend,
You
my
as
Ranger
well.
buddy.
You as well.
You're listening to News Talk 640.
It's good to see you as well.
WFNZ.
What's for lunch?
Today will start out cloudy but end sunny as we have gradually clearing skies with a high of 89. Tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 68, and Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 96. Temperatures will quickly climb to near triple digits by the end of the week, and then showers and thunderstorms arrive by Saturday and into early next week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, right now, 73 across the board. Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and